have a female patient and she refuses to have me as her nurse because I'm a man.
As the female patient who always refuses male medical professionals whenever possible, respectfully, I do not care. I don't care that you see people naked all day. I don't care that you're gay. Who you love and what you do in your bedroom is none of my business. I don't care how you feel about my body. I don't know how to say this without it coming off as harsh, but honestly, I couldn't possibly give any less of a shit about your thoughts and your feelings about my boundaries and my body. Because my boundaries are not about you. What I am and am not comfortable with is not about you. None of this is about you. And I really wish more healthcare providers, especially the male ones, would take a moment to step back and consider that what is a typical Tuesday afternoon for y'all is an incredibly vulnerable, often painful, often embarrassing, sometimes downright humiliating, sometimes violating, sometimes even potentially traumatic experience for a patient. You're not fazed by it? Well, good for you, but I am fazed by it. It's just skin, who cares? I do. I actually care a lot, because it's my skin. Your argument for why I should be comfortable with a male nurse is hinged entirely on the idea that I'm concerned about your feelings, when I simply am not, and most other female patients aren't either. Being a nurse and everything that entails is your job. If you were uncomfortable with any aspect of it, that would be your problem to either work through or decide to find a new career. As patients, we're operating under the assumption that you are comfortable performing your duties as a nurse. That doesn't mean we're comfortable with having some of those duties performed on us by you. And I think you're vastly oversimplifying the issue here. I don't not want a male nurse because I'm afraid he's going to judge me. I don't want a male nurse because I'm afraid he's going to assault me. I am afraid he's going to be misogynistic. I'm afraid he's going to not listen to me and dismiss any concerns I may have. I'm afraid he's going to ignore my consent and push past my boundaries. And I'm afraid of every one of these things because they've already happened to me. Some of them have already happened to me more than once. I've already experienced all of these things. And several things you said in this video and many of the comments validate those fears, because you and others have been very dismissive and insensitive, and in the case of some of the comments in particular, misogynistic. Almost all women have at least one scary or traumatic experience with a man. Most of us have multiple scary or traumatic experiences with multiple different men. Many of us have a history of sexual violence. You need to remember that when a woman doesn't want you to be her nurse, it's likely because of her past experiences with men. And ultimately, none of this actually affects you, so I don't know why you feel you have the right to be annoyed by it. Regardless of whether or not I consent to having you as my nurse, you will still take home the exact same paycheck. You will still have many patients to care for who are comfortable with you. And you will still have a job. Really, nothing about my refusal affects you. If I were to compromise my boundaries and what I'm comfortable with to avoid potentially offending you or hurting your feelings, however, it could have a far more detrimental effect on me. My boundaries and what I am and am not comfortable with in an already extremely vulnerable situation with a lot of potential to be traumatic, essentially, will always take precedence over your feelings and your pet peeves. You are a healthcare professional, and part of that job description is, or at least should be, taking the word no gracefully, taking criticism gracefully, and not taking patient experiences that have nothing to do with you too personally. You're there because it's your job. I'm there because I'm sick or injured. You're in a position of power. I am in a vulnerable position as a patient. Sometimes it's unavoidable to have a male provider. I completely understand that. Perhaps the hypothetical patient who had a male cardiologist wasn't comfortable with him either, or the male staff that were potentially there, but had no other choice because there was no female cardiologist. When it comes to their nurse, they likely do have a choice, so some of us are going to take that choice. It's not personal. I have no ill will towards you or the majority of the male medical professionals I've refused in the past. You could be a really great guy. You could be someone I'd love to hang out with outside of a medical situation. But I'm still not comfortable with you being my healthcare provider. Like most women who prefer to have female providers, I'm a survivor of SA. I'm a survivor of stalking. I've experienced all manner of poor behavior from men that ranges from mildly annoying to downright traumatic. I've experienced medical trauma, and I hope next time a patient refuses you as her nurse, you'll maybe stop to consider the high probability that she might be a survivor of those things too. And understand that it's not about you, and it's not personal. If you're going to be frustrated at anybody, be frustrated at the men who made it where, as women, we don't feel safe with you. Because while it might not be all men, it's more than enough of them. How are we to know that you're part of the not all men and not part of the more than enough category? The answer is we don't. And some of us aren't willing to take that chance. So please extend some compassion and empathy towards those patients rather than just assuming that we're being unreasonable and that we're a pet peeve for you. Because we deserve to be comfortable in healthcare situations too. And sometimes you're just not going to be the person that's able to make us feel most comfortable. And that's okay. It's not personal. It doesn't speak to who you are as a person or who you are as a nurse. It's just how things unfortunately are sometimes.